Hello everybody. So today I wanted to give a little bit of instruction on what to expect when you enter into an NPC event battle in Dreadville, or if you encounter what we call a random NPC, like monster or creature run. And the reason why I'm doing this today is because there are some new people to the sim who haven't experienced our events before, and also to explain why we use two different HUD systems currently. So at the moment, we have our normal Dreadville HUD, which is our picture down the bottom of the right-hand side of the screen. Now, normally when we do one-to-one combat, or even some group combat, we res our tombstone initiative, and the health points and also our dice rolls are what we use for our fights when we're doing that in our normal standard role play. But when it comes to an NPC GM run event or a storyteller run event, we do things a little bit different, because quite often we end up with a group of people and we have to help manage it, ensure that it finishes in a reasonable time frame, and also give everybody equal opportunities to fight the NPC. So while our HUD is still in production and the final combat mode with the storyteller section is not yet ready, very, very soon though, it's coming, it's so exciting, we have been using a really, really simple system called the Heart HUD. And for those of you that have partaken in some of our events, you know that it's very easy to use. But we feel that sharing this instructional video, for those who haven't, just saves a little bit of stress and confusion. So if everybody knows what they're doing, things run a little bit more smoothly. And it's a bit more planned ahead. So with the Heart HUD, we always send them out before the main events. And once you've got it in your inventory, you don't need any other addition. And it's very, very easy. It's called the player health bar menu, which you will add, and then the player health bar. So once you add these two things, you're going to end up with a little icon on the left-hand side of your screen, which has love hearts on it. It has red hearts and blue hearts. You are also going to end up with love hearts or a power bar, if it's not set right, in the beginning above your head. So all you need to do is you need to flick it over so you have hearts above your head. And then you need to give yourself 3 health points. Everybody who fights in an NPC event has 3 health points. And we do this to give a reasonable time frame. If we were to use a whole group of people who had 7, 8, 6 and below health points, the fight would take a very, very long time. So then what we do is we also set the NPC that you're going to be fighting relative to how many people are there. And that's worked out usually at the time as everybody starts to arrive. So what we ask is before you come, you have your HUD all set up and ready to go with your 3 health points. And basically as you go through combat, the GM will tell you when to lower your health points as you fail, either defending your attacks or other bits and pieces that you're led through by the GM. So it's very, very, very easy. All you need to do is click the minus on the heart button and it will bring your health down so that the GM can monitor and see when you are out of the fight if this happens. The other thing that we do is we res a post order, and we will set that up once you get there. So please allow for a little bit of organisation time from the GMs. There might be one person running the event or 2 people running the event. Sometimes it might be storytellers. Anyone who is there doing it is well enough equipped to know what they're doing. So we just need a little bit of patience and understanding while we get things set up for you. So if an event says it starts at 4:30, quite often we won't get the ball rolling until about 1:45 or 5 p.m. Second Life time. So once we're all ready to go, the GM will basically start. Now, remembering that there is a group of you. So what usually happens is you have your post order, and the NPC will usually post in first. So when that happens, we need to be understanding that, let's just say there's 6 people in the battle or in the fight. Sometimes the NPC is not always going to try and attack everybody at once, because if we think about a real life fight, with magic or special weapons as well added to it, it can be a little bit difficult to, karate kick around 6 people. So quite often they might target 1 or 2 people to begin with. Now, if you're a bystander, but you're still involved in the combat scene, you can choose to either watch in the beginning, or you can choose to go straight on in and attack. What everybody needs to understand is the person that is GMing the event and the NPC is going to have to respond to everybody's attacks in their post. So we're asking that people keep their posts really short, between 1 and 3 lines, and you take no longer than 5 minutes to post. So what you do is you post your attempted attack, and then you roll. And then the NPC will roll against your post, and that will be safe when they come to reply when their post return comes around. The standard dice rolls and how you can use it is very, very easy. We are using a mix of our HUD when we do this, so you will go back to the right-hand side of the screen to the Dreadville from Ashes HUD, and you will click the dice icon to do your dice rolls. You do not res out the tombstone in your NPC fights. So as we go through, sometimes the GM may also throw out additional attacks called an AoE, and that is like an area attack, and that will be aimed at everybody. And at that time, everyone has to roll against that in defense. So as an example, the NPC could be a magic user and summons up a icy storm and casts it out in front of everybody, and everybody who's in range is basically hit. And depending on whether your defense roll beats that or is beaten, that is how you reply in your post. So if you roll a dice roll higher than the NPC, then you manage to evade that somehow. If you roll it lower than the NPC, then you take on a hit, and of course you lose 1 of your health points. So the AoEs are used quite a lot in the big boss fights to help the GM to try and rein it in, so that they can also keep their posts relatively short. Their posting is going to take a little bit longer than those of you who are doing your more short, simple posts, basically because they have to reply to every single person that is posted for them in their post order. So we do ask again for a little bit of patience while we're waiting for the NPC. Understanding as well that, we are only human when we're running these events. And if you are doing an event and there is only 1 GM on, please note that they will be monitoring the OOC chat group that everybody who is attending will be invited to ask questions and to clarify things if they don't understand. Plus, they will be watching your posts, recording down what they need to include, and creating posts as well. We do try and have 2 GMs on for each event, but it doesn't always work out that way, especially when storytellers run through and do random runs. So just be mindful of that. And if you can see that some people aren't quite understanding, just allow the DM to take the time to explain in the OOC group chat so that that person can become clear and comfortable and move on. The other thing is if you are in the middle of a role play and a random storyteller comes up, because we like to produce the element of surprise as well and not have everything planned, and you do not wish to take part in a fight, then you can simply opt out right in the very beginning, because the storyteller will always announce that this is going to be combat, and anybody who does not wish to take part can leave the scene at the beginning. The only other thing is that we cannot include is additional people coming in halfway through the fight, because it has already started. So anybody that arrives after the fight time and the post order is set, they can post as bystanders and watching and waiting until the end if they choose. And they can also thereafter offer healing if their characters are healing and wishing to do so. We can't add in additional healing or healing at this stage in our standard NPC fights, just because we don't have the tools required on the HUDs for this. So hopefully that makes things a little bit easier. And we are actually having an NPC event battle very soon in Sim coming near you. So please, if you have any additional questions, reach out to a GM and they should be able to help you. Thank you.